expect a good, clean, professional fight. Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to you both.
So we are ready to go for our co-feature, Joshua Pagan, Roger Hilley, 8 rounds in the super lightweight division, the NABF title on the line. Raul, to put that into context, of course, you fought for titles like this. What it means is that you get a little boost in the rankings.
Absolutely, especially the NABF title that's connected with the WBC title. So, you know, whoever takes this will move up in the rankings.
Hilley told us, I'm going to get on the inside and not give Pagan a chance to breathe. Let's see if he does that. He wants to be, and there he is on the inside trying to bang away. He wants high volume, and he's got a great right hook, which he already landed.
And Hilley just banging away to the body right now in the opening minute.
Pagan already cut.
Yeah, already cut over the right eye.
Oh, let's see how that affects a young. Yeah, let's see how that affects a young prospect, Corey.
Well, listen, you could not ask for a better start for Roger Hilley right now. The opening 40 seconds, he's cut Josh Pagan, as the doctor will examine him already.
And I think that may have come from a fight, or a punch. Not from a clash of heads.
Yeah.
Because that right hook landed there.
Well, remember, Roger Hilley, just 5'5". He's got 5 inches to come up if he wants to headbutt Josh Pagan.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have to leap. He shows some leaping.
Nice counter right hand there from Pagan. Pagan trying to establish himself in the center of the ring. Hilley continues to force him back to the ropes.
And you know, with Pagan being cut, now he's going to be forced to maybe take more risks because he knows, hey, they could stop this fight. He's got to win some rounds.
Well, we've talked about the size disparity, and you know, we talk about that. We put it in context as a disadvantage for Roger Hilley, but Al, last time out against Oscar Bravo, he had a guy who was forcing him to come back, which I think is less comfortable for him.
Yeah, that's what I think created this style tonight. He found against Bravo, who is an aggressive fighter, I could do it on the inside, so he's going to try and do it against Pagan. We'll see. Pagan has a lot of power and a great uppercut, so it's not going to be a walk in the park for Hilley on the inside all the time he's there.
Roger Hilley not trying to make this a walk of any sort. He's trying to make this a sprint. Pagan rips a nice uppercut on the inside.
Oh, my.
There's Hilley coming over the top. Good exchange here. Roger Hilley just all over Joshua Pagan here in the opening round.
This is what he said he was going to do, and he's doing it.
Hard left hand right down the middle from Hilley. This is high-octane offense from the man from Chattanooga.
Pagan is trying to land some hard shots too, you know, controlling the distance, you know, with his jab. And he's you know, he's not letting that blood, that cut get to him. He's very focused.
Pagan faced this against Burnett 3 fights ago. Early on, Burnett had great success like Hilley's had, but then Pagan was able to turn it around on him. Let's see if he can do that tonight.
Pagan starting to feint a little bit more, and Hilley is finally not just bulldozing forward. Do a nice little turnaround for Pagan, who had some scary moments to kick this fight off. Well, that is not a good cut, to say the very least, as we look in the corner of Joshua Pagan.
Especially, I mean, it's just the first round, Corey.
His father, Victor Pagan, his trainer, Steve Maniaci, the cut man. He'll have his work cut out for him.
Oh, yeah. Better have a good cut man in there. Let's see if we could see where the cut happened.
Let's on the center for a round, okay? Let's see if we can feel it. Okay. Keep your hands up.
We will see both fighters at close quarters. You know, it might have been. Is that where it happened?
I think
the
that
top
was
of. The overhand right. Yeah, I believe it was the overhand right that opened up that cut. At first, it seems like Hilley's hair was kind of rubbing on his eye, but no, you saw the overhand right that opened up Pagan's cut.
Pagan's corner knew that Hilley's right hook was very good, and early on they found out about that.
Combination there from Joshua Pagan. He's getting a little looser with his combinations here in the second round, and maybe that early onslaught has kind of woken Pagan up a little bit.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, he's a good combination puncher. He's got a strong jab. He works everything off the jab like he did with his 3 and 4 punch combinations. That's where he's got to keep the fight at mid to long range. He's still got to be there, stay there, and be aggressive-minded, but try to land some power shots and get that respect from Hilley. That way Hilley just won't rush in like he's bulldozing him, running over him.
And a reminder, this is the first lefty that he's faced as a pro. Now, he faced lefties in the amateur, but he's not faced a lefty on this level.
Yeah, and he mentioned to us that strategically, obviously, he wants to move to his left against a southpaw, but he did say he had to be concerned about that right hook, which is the shot that's cut it. Nice right hook to the body there from Hilley as we talk about that.
One thing Hilley hasn't done as much as I think he wanted to was jab his way in. He's kind of bulldozing in, but not jabbing his way in, and he wants to do that.
There's the uppercut from Pagan. They're starting to find a home.
Yeah, great. That's the uppercut I was talking about. That's the uppercut I was talking about. In the inside, he's definitely taking advantage of that right uppercut. Now the question is, how much did Hilley let out in that first round? You know, trying to knock him out, but he seems like he's coming back too, Corey.
Pagan, this is a replay of Pagan's fight against Rondell Burnett a couple of fights ago, and it's just exactly the same. Now he's taking control a little bit with those shots on the inside, but Hilley keeps coming.
Yeah, I like the way Pagan is turning those shots with uppercuts, the jabs, the right hands. I think he's in control in this round. And for being such a young prospect and getting cut like that, Al, he's taking the cut very well. The blood, knowing that he got cut, is not getting to him. He's very focused.
Showing his composure.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Pagan has had to face some adversity in his career thus far. Al, you brought up the Burnett fight. There's also the fight against Wesley Rivers, where he kind of escaped with a majority decision on Hilley's end. 11 of his wins have come over fighters that did not have winning records.
Yeah, only in his last couple fights has he stepped up his competition. The Bravo fight was an example of him fighting somebody who was a tough cookie.
Action starting to slow a little bit, much in favor of Josh Pagan, as Hilley just missed with that left hand at the bell. Take a look at the corner of Roger Hilley, his trainer Andy Smith, Chad Henley, the cut man. And still a lot of work to be done round after round just to keep that cut manageable for Josh Pagan.
If they could stop that blood, Corey.
In the last round, we talked about early Pagan having a great uppercut. Boy, did he show it in that round. Hilley was on the inside trying to work the body, but kept getting hit with that uppercut. And here's Pagan pushing Hilley back, which he did very well. And as Raul pointed out, in the center of the ring for this man, Pagan, life was a lot easier.
Round 3 underway. And this co-feature between Joshua Pagan and Roger Hilley that is...
Hey, that was a headbutt. That was a headbutt.
A bad
I hope he
clash
didn't
of
get cut
heads.
again.
And thankfully did not produce another cut on the face of Josh Pagan, but we could not only see that, we could hear that one from ringside.
And it does happen, you know, when you get a lefty and a righty, but it surprises me because Pagan is so much taller, Al, and Hilley's shorter, but they did bang heads right now.
Hilley is trying to get that right hook off again. That's a big weapon for him, and he did it in the first round. That's what created a cut, but he hasn't been able to get that punch off as much now. But this is exactly what really we thought this fight was going to be, a shootout with both men landing good shots.
Yeah, now it's definitely turning into a bar burner. And I believe because Pagan knows he needs to win rounds. You never know. At any point, they could stop the fight because of the cut.
And boy, Hilley doing great body work, Pagan doing great work upstairs.
Yeah, both men, in some ways, in these exchanges on the inside, guys, they're getting off what they want to get out. They're landing what they want to land, and they're also getting hit with good stuff.
Yeah, very good point.
They're taking risks, Corey. They're willing to take risks.
Don't give him no time off.
Good combination there from Pagan. The right hand breaks through, so does the left hook. Just piercing the guard of Roger Hilley, who once again comes right back with some good body work.
Hilley is counting on the fact that Pagan's never gone 8 rounds. Hilley has. He's hoping that body work he does now will help him as these rounds continue. But he's taking a fearful battering from it, although there he got the right hook in. It's a great round of boxing.
Good uppercut again from Pagan.
Oh, look at Pagan where he's punishing.
Keep coming.
This might come down to conditioning. Look at the left eye of Hilley. A lot of swelling too in the left eye of Hilley from Pagan's right hands. But then look at Pagan's eye too, full of blood.
Both fighters may be dealing with vision issues already here in the 3rd round, the product of what has been a thriller so far. Swings and momentum, cuts and swelling on both sides. This is living up to our touting of it being a show stealer.
A lot of mental toughness for both fighters who are showing they're mentally built tough, you know, because Pagan, the cut, he's still fighting. Then Hilley, look at him. He's coming forward. He's trying to force the fight. He gets hit coming in. Did I see a cut now?
And that might be Pagan's blood just splattering on Roger Hilley right now, because that cut is not getting any better for Pagan. But that is a good round for the Grand Rapids, Michigan native.
Here we see Hilley in the inside, very successful with his short shots going to the body, exchanging, but then Pagan comes back too with 3 and 4 punch combinations. There we see uppercuts. Both got another left-right uppercut hooked by Pagan. But they was back and forth action, but I think Pagan got the best of it, and the doctor was back again checking Pagan's cut.
And there is indeed a cut over the eye of Roger Hilley. It was hard to see in live action. You see, obviously not as extreme as the cut over the eye of Joshua Pagan, but both swelling and an abrasion now for Roger Hilley to deal with as round 4 begins.
Hilley came out throwing the jab, and that's been a missing component, I think, in this fight for him, as much as he's done good work. And there's the body work that he wants to do.
He's got a good body attack.
Nice right over the top there from Hilley. Beautiful uppercut from Pagan. Back and forth action here in the 4th round.
Fast, crisp combinations by Pagan.
The body work of Hilley, the question is going to be how much impact can that make while he's absorbing these big headshots, but he's landing downstairs. And while Pagan throws these great headshots.
I think that's a good point now, and I think beyond just the impact of the body shots, the question is, for Pagan, while he's obviously doing good work, there's no question that Hilley is making this uncomfortable for him. And at what point, or could that discomfort start to fatigue Pagan in the later rounds?
I believe once Pagan tires out, but so far he ain't showing no sign of that. He's coming back with his own combination punching. But you're right, look at, he's consistent. Talking about Hilley with his body attack.
And the thing about Pagan is he can fight both inside and outside, and he's demonstrated that in his career, this early part of his career.
That's where Pagan is at his best, I believe, guys, when he's at mid to long range. He's still a good inside fighter, don't get me wrong, but I do believe his fight is at mid to long range, and I'm still very surprised that, you know, I was wrong with Hilley. He's been putting that constant pressure. He wasn't lying. I think he's got good skills too. He could box and apply pressure. I would love for him to change it up a little bit. but he keeps coming.
Come on.
And that's what they want him to do. They want him to keep coming.
Hey, he came
Corey.
to Detroit with the nickname the Hitman, which they've heard here a couple times
Right.
before, so he's trying to live up to that.
With the Hitman sitting ringside, by the way.
Yeah. That's daunting.
There's movement here from Pagan. Throws a right hand, gets back on the move. It's just been all hustle from Roger Hilley in this round.
Yeah, this is a round that's been, it could be an interesting one to score.
Work there from Pagan as well. Punching, getting back on the move. It seems, Raul, like Pagan might have found something with this strategy. Just pot shot and circle out.
In and out, you're right. Use his boxing skills, and he's good at that. Controlling the range.
There we see it
And
again.
he
Nice
did
right
it. He
hand
did
to
it in
wrap up
this
the round.
yeah. He knows it too. Very confident.
There's the Hitman, the Motor City Cobra. Thomas Hearn sitting ringside, taking in the action. Al, obviously, you have very fond memories of calling this man's fights.
Ringside for many Tommy Hearns fights in the 1980s. Happy to call them and happy to call this fight because we're seeing Roger Hilley on the inside doing really good work at various times as we saw in that last round. But Pagan, when he can get the range for those punches, you see him reel off all those combinations. And Tommy Hearns is watching this saying, oh yeah, I did that a couple times in my career.
That's the real Hitman there.
You bet.
Terrific fight so far here between Joshua Pagan and Roger Hilley as round 5 begins.
And we're heading into the rounds. We mentioned Pagan has been 6 rounds, never 8. Hilley has been 8 against Oscar Bravo. Another point, Pagan beat Braulio Rodriguez in his last fight. Didn't knock him out, but beat him in 6 rounds. Well, Rodriguez had been knocked out by his 3 previous opponents and the 2 who fought him afterwards. Is that a comment on whether Pagan can knock out the good fighters or not? It raises a question.
Yeah, and to your point, unlike Pagan, who's never fought an 8-rounder, Hilley's taken part in 4 8-rounders. He's gone the distance twice, so this is familiar territory that we're heading towards for Roger Hilley.
Pagan back to controlling the distance from the outside, punch shot and setting everything with the jab. That's where he's in danger. He's got to get out of the ropes, and Hilley needs to take advantage of it, keeping him on the ropes. He needs to pin him there on the ropes and dig to the body. I believe Hilley needs to shorten up a little bit with his shots, too, a little bit too wide. And Pagan is able to counterpunch off of that.
You know what speaks to that? Hilley has a good uppercut himself, but we haven't seen that punch. It's been Pagan's uppercut that has really made the difference.
You're right. His right uppercut, really with both hands. He's got good uppercut with both hands. Digging to the body now, Pagan. Really sitting down on his shots, picking his shots. I think he's in better control now in this 5th round so far. Second half of the fight.
Step back.
This is a very good matchup of 2 undefeated fighters who almost at exactly the same spot in their career, even though Hilley's a little older and he's in a few more fights, and both bringing a lot of skills and also desire to this fight.
Yeah, and credit to both fighters. I mean, I think for Roger Hilley, this is the kind of fight that he needed. Working your way up in the Tennessee circuit, you don't get big opportunities. For Josh Pagan, though, a 9-0 prospect with a promoter like Dimitri Salita, he didn't have to step up this quickly.
Agreed. At 30 years of age, Hilley needed to get a fight like this. Pagan did it because he wants to see where he's at and try and make the move up quicker.
Well, he's certainly finding out as Roger Hilley is asking all the right questions here tonight, but Pagan finding the answers again here in the 5th round.
Yeah, his fast combinations. At the end of the day, for both fighters, win or lose,
Nice
they're
left
going to learn
hand
from
over the
this.
top from Hilley. On a round that looked to be going in Pagan's favor, and you'd have to think will still be scored for him. A nice little confidence boost from Hilley in the final 20 seconds.
We see Hilley coming forward, but it's Pagan that's landing the solid shots, really placing his shots. You see him touching with the jab and landing the right hand, the uppercuts. Hilley comes back, he misses. You just can't find the range. You know what it is? The difference is Pagan is controlling the distance. 3 and 4 punch combinations. He's fast with his combinations. I think he won that round.
Hey, listen, when you come out, don't serve. Come with your hands up, okay? Come on.
So far, they've done a pretty good job of on both corners of controlling the cut situation, right?
You're reading my mind, Roma. Yes.
That's a cut
And
that
Corey's
could have
as
been
well.
a disaster. It's also a cut. Listen, you know it's
Great
a good
minds
fight.
think alike.
You know it's a good fight when you have blood on your laptop, as I do right now.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a tip-off,
Is that what
right?
makes it a good fight?
Yeah, that's one thing that could make it a good fight. As round 6 begins, Roger Hilley going back downstairs.
Oh, that's what he's got to do.
Yep, and there he landed a real good left. That's the combination punching from Hilley, which we saw earlier.
Look at
But
this.
look
This is
at
about
Pagan.
a
Wow.
20-punch combination from Joshua Pagan. What a response to an excellent opening to the round from Roger Hilley.
Tell you what, I mean, for a guy like Pagan to do that, he's in great shape. But also the hitman, he came hard from the beginning. A lot of pressure. He's still applying pressure. They're both in great shape. They both want it.
And I think that was a critical moment too, guys. I mean,
Yes.
these are developing prospects, but what you see out of elite fighters, let's look back at last weekend with Alexander Usyk. What did he do so well? When the momentum was shifting the other way, he took it away immediately, and that's, I think, what we just saw with Joshua Pagan.
Yeah, very, very good point. And, you know, we talk about power. Hilley has 8 knockouts, but the question is, he hasn't been able to hurt Pagan yet. He's landed some big right hooks and some straight lefts, and Pagan hasn't really hurt him badly, but for Hilley, who may well be behind in this fight, the onus may be on him to hurt Pagan at some point here. And he landed some big power shots early in this round, Hilley did.
Shoot shine combination downstairs there from Roger Hilley, mostly catching elbows.
Hilley's still throwing punches, throwing combinations and bunches, but it's Pagan's shots that are being more effective, I believe, or doing more damage.
Counter shot there from Hilley. Again, that left hand coming over the top.
Go.
This is the first time in the fight we've seen Hilley try to use the ring a little bit and move a little bit. Whether that's because he's a little frustrated or because he wants to try and do it is a good question.
Or he's running out of gas, too.
That's possible.
Yep.
And even though we said he's been 8 rounds, he's taken some punishment in this fight. But there he is working the body. Oh,
good
big
body
left
shot.
hand.
Shot there from Hilley, the right hand to the body, and look at this again from Pagan.
Right back with a flurry of 4, 5, 6 punch combination by Pagan.
Again, what did the judges remember in that sequence?
Right.
You know, the good overhand left there from Hilley, or was it the 10-punch combination from Pagan in reply? Good action there in round 6.
Well, we see at the beginning of the round of Hilley all over Pagan. It looked like it. I mean, he was going to get that round. He started off good, but then we see Pagan come back with that. What was it, like a 25, 30 punch combination? I don't know. That was pretty fast. I don't know if I could count that fast, guys.
That was quick. You got to get your abacus out.
Yes.
Hilley continued to work on the inside, but the counter-punching off the ropes by Pagan was what was very impressive. I mean, even when Hilley lands shots like that straight left, they're not really making enough of an impact on Pagan to change the tenor of the fight.
I'm looking at Pagan in the corner. He's so relaxed.
Yeah, he's trying to fire up the crowd. Yeah. Round 7 begins. One thing he saw at the end of round 6 that Pagan told us would be critical, he said that he expected Hilley to try and steal rounds. And Hilley even admitted that's something he does very well. Pagan has prevented that for the most part throughout this fight.
This is a round that Pagan has never seen before. 7th round.
I'll tell you what, right from the get-go, I think they know in Hilley's corner that he needs to win some rounds, that he's not up ahead. And Hilley is sticking to Pagan like glue.
And landing some really nice shots early in this round.
Yeah, those body shots are landing.
He's having a good first minute of the round. He needs to continue with that pace. Keep pushing him off, keep working. Short shots up the middle, too, not just to the body, but come up the middle with his uppercuts. Remember, he's got good uppercuts, too. We're talking about Hilley. He's got a block and counter right there when Pagan throws those shots. There we go. He just did it again. Campbell, 4-punch combination to the body. He's being pretty successful right here.
No, he is, and I think this is something to take into consideration in a fight that has a lot of close rounds. In terms of ring generalship, when you see a round like this where someone is forcing a fighter back again and again, even if these are some even exchanges, Al, it's hard to suggest that the person who is leaning on the guy on the ropes is not the ring general. And I know that's only one of 4 factors, but it obviously is working in Hilley's favor.
Yeah, and when Hilley was doing that, he was landing really good shots. Now here Pagan has got things in the center of the ring again. Let's see if he can take advantage of that. But Hilley built up quite a mountain for him to climb here in this round. And again, remember, Pagan's never been to round 7.
I mean, so far from the beginning, from what it looked, I mean, this looks like a Hilley round. Yeah. Unless Pagan comes out with a dramatic finish or drops him. But this was a really good round. This was a really good round for Hilley. He needs to continue that in the 8th round. And maybe it's maybe the rounds are getting to Pagan. You never know, mental thing. You know, hey, this is the 7th round. I've never been here. Does that happen to an up-and-coming prospect that's never been 8 rounds? Yes, I believe it does happen.
Well, Pagan very deliberately changing things up here. A lot of side-to-side movement, going nowhere near the ropes right now. I think he noticed, again, momentum rolling downhill for Hilley in this round.
And we just saw Pagan push that right hand a little bit. So he's not throwing many punches. So it is conceivable, we don't know, but it is conceivable he's feeling this 7th round a little bit. And remember, we talked about the body work Hilley did early. We'll see if it's impacted.
Well, listen, about 10 seconds ago, he just wrapped Hilley up without doing anything. He seemingly just wanted a break in the proceedings. That'll do it for round 7. A fascinating co-feature here between Pagan and Hilley. A lot of work being done in both corners. The right eye of both Hilley and Pagan. Been plaguing both of them since the early rounds.
Yeah, and these fighters, it's fascinating to watch this split screen. Both undefeated, both at almost the same points in their career. They've been in a pitched battle, and they're both cut around the left eye. Now here's Hilley on the inside again, working well. This was the beginning of that round. And this was like all beginnings of the round have been, but Pagan has come back in all the rounds, not this one. Hilley was working the body, working the head, doing a superb job. Pagan trying to come back and landing some good shots, but it wasn't like the other rounds.
8th and final round here between Joshua Pagan and Roger Hilley. And as you alluded to, Al, so cinematic seeing that split screen, because for 2 undefeated prospects, this is the fork in the road for someone's career right now.
Yeah, I think for both fighters, I wouldn't take any risking laying off in this round. I feel they both got to win this round, Corey. You don't know what the judges are looking at, and like we said at the beginning, a lot of the rounds, Al, at the beginning, Hilley was coming forward, connecting 3 and 4 punch combinations. Then Pagan would come back, but that last round, I think it was all Hilley. And if he could win this round, you never know.
Yeah, it's probable those middle rounds were mostly for Pagan. I say probable because we don't know, but certainly those rounds were competitive, and we know that last round was probably a Hilley round. So.
Yeah, I think that the quieter the round, the better for Joshua Pagan throughout this fight, but certainly here in round 8.
And this is the first round in which Hilley didn't push him to the ropes immediately and start banging away. So he wants to do that.
Pagan coming back with those explosive 3 and 4, 5 punch combinations. Trying to steal round, trying to win the round. Good solid jab, pushing him off.
A lot of folks in Chattanooga watching this fight. Roger Hilley, a popular figure there. We talked about his charitable work with the YPAC. He's somebody they really root for, and they're hoping for him to get things done here in this final round.
Yeah, he's like the home team next to the Lookouts in Chattanooga.
Yeah, and of course for Pagan here in his hometown, wanting to get through this and step up in his career.
Not again looking for that uppercut, that time from longer range. Finding some on the inside, but it's on the inside where Hilley has done tremendous work throughout the night. Final 45 seconds of this contest.
Pagan landing the shots at mid-long range. Good jab to the head, to the body, and like you said, Corey, still trying to land that right uppercut, trying to catch Hilley coming in like he just did right now with that right uppercut.
Let's see what Hilley does in the next 20 seconds or so. A notorious round stealer by his own admission.
This round, though, has not been the kind of aggression from Hilley that I think he wanted.
And that was because Pagan controlled the distance, Al. He turned mid and long range, a good jab, good counter uppercut.
Good check hook there from Pagan a moment ago. He didn't see that all that much throughout this fight, but he pulled it out at the right moment. It was potentially a crucial round. Excellent fight between Pagan and Hilley. Well, Raul, credit to the matchmakers here tonight. I mean, this is the kind of fight that this series is all about.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Both undefeated, both hungry young fighters, and like I said at the beginning, someone's has got to go. It's sad that it has to be like that, but look, this is one loss in your career doesn't mean anything. Especially the way you lose. This was a very competitive fight, and you want to test yourself, Corey, see where you're at this stage of your career. And I think for both fighters, whoever wins here or loses, it was a hell of a fight, and it was a good test. They're both going to get better from this. Win or lose, they're going to learn, and they're going to get better.
Let's take a look back at some highlights from that final round.
Here we see again. Well, at the beginning, it was Hilley, but then Hilley comes back, but it was Pagan trying to control the distance, trying to push him out. There we see Hilley doing the body work. I think this was this throughout the whole fight, or was this the last? Yeah, this was throughout the whole fight. It wasn't the last round. Yeah, that was the story of the fight. When Hilley closed the range and he was at end fight, he would do well. He won some rounds that way. But when Pagan started to control the distance at mid to long range and used his jab and was smart and they hit from different angles, it was all Pagan. But that's what I'm talking about right there. That's Hilley's fight. Throwing short shots up the middle to the body, and then Pagan controlling the distance. I think it was a good competitive fight. Let's see how the judges have it.
Well, that 8th round is really how Pagan probably wanted every round to look like. That opening round,
Right.
The first round is exactly how Hilley wanted it. Let's see how the judges saw this one. It looks like the scorecards are in the hand of Thomas Treiber. Let's send it up to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Luis Delgado, Vincent Santino, and Rose Gross, are in agreement. They all scored the same, 78-74, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, and now the junior NABF Super Lightweight Champion, Joshua Double G Pagan.
So Joshua Pagan picks up the victory, a unanimous decision. The score 78-74 across the board. Listen, for a competitive fight, when you
Yes.
hear that, Raul, that might sound wide,
But it wasn't like that. It was a
feels fair.